Hello, crafty friends. My name is Jessica, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a Halloween card using Distress, Oxide, and Spritz sprays. We're going to get started here with Oxide sprays. We've got Carved Pumpkin, Black Soot, and Wilted Violet. And then for the Spritzes, I just paired them with similar colors, and we've got Spiced Marmalade, Walnut Stain, and Wilted Violet. So off camera, I went ahead and embossed this cute ghost embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. This is an older one. I've had it in my stash here probably for a couple years, but I absolutely love how adorable these little ghosts are. So we're going to get started here by putting the black soot here at the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the Wilted Violet for our middle color and then Carved Pumpkin. Oxide sprays are really, really fun because they spray very bright and shiny, but then they dry back really, really beautifully. And the more that I find that I layer them and play with them with other things such as water, they react a little bit differently. My favorite of these is definitely the purple. It's got this really beautiful kind of, I don't even know how to explain it, patinaed maybe color to it when I use it. I've noticed that with most of the purples, you get this like patinaed color. So we went in with the oxide sprays, and now we're going to go in with the spritzes on top. So I went ahead and did Walnut Stain on top of the black. That was the closest black shimmer spray in the current lineup of the spritzes. And then we did the Wilted Violet on top of Wilted Violet, and then, of course, the Spiced Marmalade on top of the Carved Pumpkin. Look at that shine. Absolutely beautiful. So I do end up putting this back through the embossing folder later on in the video just to crisp up those ghosts and ensure that they are puffed up as much as possible. We're going to pair this Good Vibes die with this folder. I thought that would be a nice sentiment with the ghosts. You know, they kind of look like they're dancing, good vibes. And the only thing about this die, I love it. I love the font and I love the size of it. The only thing is it's not all one piece, which can be challenging for some. I just took my time, made sure that I had it lined up appropriately, but it does get a little bit tedious with gluing. And so that's where I spend most of my time with this card today. It's gluing these letters down. I went ahead and I cut the background die or the background shadow out of black Simon Says Stamp cardstock. I cut it out twice just to give us a little bit more lift. And then I went ahead and cut out the Good Vibes portion twice out of 110-pound cardstock and once out of glossy cardstock. I have a crafty friend that has been sending me cards lately that uses glossy cardstock for their sentiments, specifically black, but she also mentioned that she uses white. And so this is the first time I'm using it for topping off my sentiments, and I'm really loving it. It adds that nice little subtle shine, especially when our background is shiny, like the one today using the Spritz sprays. I really love the little extra shine that that cardstock brings. So I went ahead and cut out, like I said, it twice out of the 110, just normal cardstock, and then once out of the glossy cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. So in typical Jessica Vasher craft room designs, whatever, I'm using stamping blocks to adhere my paper together so that I get a little bit of pressure on these little die cuts to ensure that they're going to stick good. I tend to never use stamping blocks for stamping because I have a normal size MISTI and I just recently added a mini MISTI, and it just is so much easier to use that MISTI to stamp stamps. Occasionally I'll use a block. Like if I need to add floral centers to something that maybe it's just easier as a one-off, then I'll do that. But for the most part, they are covered in adhesive. They spend a lot of their time just putting pressure on paper and kind of being one of the best workhorses for my craft room. So now that we've got it all cut out, I thought about using a mask, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but like essentially taking that Good Vibes that I cut out and using it as to place like puzzle pieces, a guide. I decided not to. I decided just to go in and kind of just look at the letters, kind of place them with the same amount of spacing around the edges and just hope for the best. So I started off with the VIB because that's the part that is all connected. And I thought that would be a good one to kind of be the piece that starts it off. And so I did that. And then now we're just going to go ahead and add in the rest of the letters. And we're almost done. I am adding a lot of glue. I realized my mistake later that I added a little too much. It got a little squished out, and then I had a hard time kind of removing it from the die cut after. I am an over adhesive and all the things, so I went ahead and trimmed our panel down and ran it through our embossing folder one more time. As you can see, those ghosts got a little bit more pronounced. And how I did that is I just laid the embossing folder in my hand with the divots down or the images down, deboss side, and I just wiggled my paper in until it felt secure. And now we're going to go ahead and pop it up. I absolutely love this foam tape. If you're new here, you don't know that, but if you're not, you're seasoned, you know exactly why I love this foam tape. It has the most beautiful loft to it. It's the greatest thickness for these background panels, and I buy it on Black Friday because it always goes on sale. 30% off usually on Black Friday. So I buy about 2 rolls and it gets me throughout the year. This is, I think this might be roll number 2. I'm not sure. So I'm coming up on needing to buy some more. I think I might have one more in my stash, but it's my favorite. I use it almost on every single card. So we went ahead and added that on. Look at again, that shine. These Spritz sprays are so beautiful and I can't wait to add them all to my collection. I'm hoping they come out with a lot of them. Typically, I notice that when Tim Holtz calls them by the distress colors that we're going to get all of them. So I'm excited for that. I need all the things because they're so shiny and so yummy. Now it's just me fiddling to determine where we're going to put the sentiment. I decided to kind of do a upper centered sentiment placement, and I'm just adding a lot of glue here today because I wasn't really sure how this glue was going to adhere to the Spritz sprays, but it ends up working out beautifully. Grabbing my little ruler to make sure that we're straight and then struggling with it. It seems to be my MO some days. But I love that sentiment and big and how big it is. It takes up a great amount of card panel, and I love that. We're going to take a little bit of time to talk about all the products today. I have them all listed in the description box below, and just note that they are affiliate links. And what that means is that if you click on a link and shop with me, I do receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. It just helps me have a little extra funds to fill up the craft room and ensure that I'm bringing good content to you. So we're going to go ahead and finish this card with some gold sequins, and that's going to be it today. Pretty simple. Just wanted to play with our Distress Oxide sprays and these spritzes, kind of see how they react together. Loving the shine, especially of that Wilted Violet. Such a beautiful color. And the black soot and Walnut Stain paired perfectly. Walnut Stain is a darker brown color, but on that black soot, I'm really loving the color that it gives. So that's the card. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween card, and let me know in the comments below how much you enjoyed it or what you'd like to see next. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining. Take care.